Hi, good morning. How are you today? Today's story is called The Big Little Sneeze, written by Katja Reider and illustrated by Wolfgang Slawski. Now, looking at the picture, what do you think is going to happen in the story this week? Who can you see in the picture? How many animals? Okay, we have got badger, mole, rabbit, and bear. What can you see on the badger's arm? A first aid bag, very good. What are they doing to the bear's leg? They've wrapped it in a bandage and attached a stick as a splint, very good. So, do you have an idea what the story could be about today? Let's check and find out. The Big Sneeze. The author is Katja Reider and the illustrator is Wolfgang Slawski. One day, Max came out of his den and walked through the dandelions, which are a type of flower. They tickled his nose and Max sneezed. Achoo! What's wrong, Max? Are you sick? Asked Mole, coming out of his hole. No, Max sniffed. It's just these dandelions. They, achoo! It's no fun to have a cold, said Mole. Wait, I'll bring you a warm compress for your throat and a cold one for your forehead. That's okay, called Max. But Mole had already gone back into his hole and disappeared. Then Rabbit hopped up. What are you doing? He asked Max. I'm waiting for Mole. He's getting me a compress for my throat and my head, exclaimed the little bear. Oh, said Rabbit. Are you sick? Is he sick? Oh, my page is stuck together. He has a cold and a headache, said Mole as he hurried back to Max. Come help me. First, they put the compress on Little Bear's head and then they wrapped his chest and his stomach. There, said Mole. Now wait and see. I think I feel better already, said Max after a while. People always think that, and then they get even worse, said Rabbit. Try and stand up. I wonder what's going to happen. Max jumped up so quickly he got tangled in all the compresses and bandages. He stumbled and fell backwards to the ground. See, said Rabbit. Now you've hurt your leg. Look, it's all crooked. But it always looked like that, cried the little bear. Just then, Badger came along. No doubt about it, he said. That leg needs a splint. And before Max knew what was happening, his leg was splinted and bandaged. So here we can see the splint is a piece of wood to keep it from moving, and the bandage is to wrap it tight. Badger rummaged around in his first aid kit and brought out a tube of green ointment, of green salve. This can cure the worst stomachache, he said, squeezing the salve all over Max's stomach. Does the little bear have a stomachache? Asked Rabbit. That stuff stinks. Be you, cried Mole. I'm getting sick, moaned the little bear, because he really started to feel not very well. Oh, so does your stomach still hurt? Asked Badger. No, said Max, but I never had a stomach. I have an idea, Mole interrupted. We should build him a warm fire. The friends ran around gathering wood. Gently, they carried Max over to the fire. Now you're nice and warm, said Rabbit. Let's roast potatoes in the fire, said Mole. All this nursing is really exhausting. May I have a potato too? Asked Max. Of course not, said Badger. I have made a nourishing broth for you here. What is it? Asked the little bear nervously. It's a brew of stinkweed and skunk cabbage, said Badger. It tastes even worse than it looks, but it works. Oh, poor Max. Just then the beaver family rushed over from the nearby pond. Old Beaver gave Max a worried glance and scolded, "Can't you see that little one has a fever? Look how he's sweating. He needs to cool off." And with that, the three beavers grabbed the little bear, carried him down to the pond, and plunged him into the icy cold water. Poor Max. There, that should take off your fever, said Old Beaver, very pleased with himself. How do you feel now? How do I feel? Miserable, awful, terrible, screamed Max. Leave me alone. Oh dear, poor Max. Max stalked off angrily and disappeared into his den. The others looked at one another anxiously. We shouldn't take it personally, said Rabbit. He's just sick, whispered Mole. We'll stay near him, of course, said Badger. Max slept all day and all night. When he finally woke up, all his friends gathered around him. Well, you look much better, said Badger. Thanks to our good care, added Mole. The others nodded in agreement. Max took a deep breath. But before you started taking care of me, I was feeling just fine, he said. Then why did you say you were sick? Asked Mole sternly. You said so, explained Max. Just because the dandelions made me sneeze, it was nothing more than that. Nobody listened to me when I tried to explain. We meant well, said Rabbit sadly. You should have protested, growled the beaver. Next time I will, believe me, said Max. Suddenly, he felt a tickle in his nose. Achoo! Wait, cried Badger. I'll get my herbal brew. No! Screamed Max so loudly he frightened Badger, who started to hiccup. I know a cure for hiccups, cried Max, and tickled Badger until Badger was giggling so hard his hiccups disappeared. Soon everyone was giggling, and that was good, because laughter is the best medicine, whether you're sick or not. The end. Hope you enjoyed that story. Bye-bye.